Dreamscape presents Lost Airmen, the epic rescue of World War II U.S. bomber crews stranded behind enemy lines by Charles E. Stanley, Jr., narrated by Qarie Marshall. Chapter 1. The Making of a Pilot. A forlorn Army Air Forces private sat alone in the back pew of an unadorned chapel. It was a Friday night, and most of his fellow aviation students at the University of Buffalo were out on the town blowing off steam. He had opted to attend this religious retreat instead. The private yearned to be a pilot, but he knew the odds were against him. Half his classmates would wash out and be relegated to lesser duties. He worried that he might fail too, as he found his coursework difficult and uninspiring and felt he was floundering. Yet if he won his wings, the private faced a far greater problem. He would have to survive the most terrible war in history. The 6-month Guadalcanal campaign had just proven the Japanese would be a tenacious foe. In Eastern Europe, Hitler's Germany and Stalin's Soviet Union squared off across a 1,000-mile front, stretching from Leningrad to the Caucasus Mountains. Meanwhile, British and American forces battled the Germans in northern Africa. The Normandy D-Day invasion remained over a year away. For now, the air war served as the second front against Hitler's fortress Europe. It held perils beyond the private's imagination. The casualty rate for American airmen was worse than among the Marines in the Pacific. The life expectancy of U.S. 8th Air Force crews was 14 missions. Just 1/4 of its personnel survived a full 25-mission tour. The struggle for air supremacy had become a war of attrition, and replacements were desperately needed. The private was eager to become one of them. 6 months before, he had been a 20-year-old civilian facing two options. He could wait to be drafted, or he could volunteer for one of the specialized service branches. He did not want to spend the war marching through muddy battlefields, and the Navy was out of the question, as he hated water and did not know how to swim. Aviation, however, held a certain romance. World War I aces, barnstorming daredevils, and aeronautical record-setters lived in fresh memory. Only 15 years had passed since Lindbergh's solo transatlantic flight. Magazines showcased handsome flyers being admired by pretty girls. In contrast, the nickname for the common infantryman, Dogface, spoke for itself. If a young man wanted high status, good pay, and a sharp uniform...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?